Hello there! And welcome back to another video! Today I'm going to be doing 3 Draw This Again challenges where I took some illustrations I found in a very old sketchbook from 2007, 2000 something. Very old, 2010, I don't remember, it's quite old. And I'm redrawing them in modern day style. The only one I spent more than 20 minutes on I think was the last one, but I'm still quite happy with all of them, and I 100, if you see the date in the top corner, this is from May. I completely forgot that I filmed these. I know I made TikToks for them, but I filmed that on my phone, so I completely forgot that I filmed this with my tripod and stuff like that, so I could turn it into a YouTube video. So hello from August. I'm filming it now, but so essentially this first one was one of the first drawings that I think I ever tried to do where I wasn't following a reference. So I wanted to recreate it now where I also don't normally use references for something that's like quite simple. But I feel like the last 11 years have gifted me a lot of progress in terms of ability, and also you can kind of see in the old version to the right that there's like it says boom on his shirt, but it's kind of dark, it's not centered. It wasn't a design element. I think I had it written on the paper before I drew on it, and then I imagined that when I shaded in the shirt, I think the only reason I shaded in the shirt might have been to hide the boom, and it didn't hide it. But so in the 2021 version, I decided to make that a design element where his t-shirt is a graphic shirt that says boom on it. That's kind of the extent of the creativity that came here. You can see my phone popping in and out to film the TikTok for it. But yeah, this was a very quick and simple one. I was quite happy with it. I tried to capture the main design elements with the boom and with like the bit of hair that like flows near his nose, and the pose a little bit. I exaggerated it to make it more intentional. Next up, we've got another one from that same old sketchbook, also from I think 2010. This was at the time when I drew it in 2010, this was me being super fancy in terms of look at me, I know how to do shading now. Clearly with a little bit more of an experienced eye, it feels like the lips are a ledge rather than like a 3-dimensional thing. Either way, in terms of the 3 redraws, even though I spent more time on the one that's following this, I think this was my favorite concept-wise, because first of all, in the old one, her head is like extremely big, but not big in a sense where it's a chibi. It was just kind of like disproportionate, and so she has a big head anyway, but I turned her posture where she's got like the one arm on her other arm, I turned it more into like an fight or flight kind of reaction thing, and then her eyes, they look very blank in the old one, so I kind of turned that into the sort of deranged white pupil idea. I am really happy with how this turned. I feel like it's not something that you would have imagined seeing the old one, but she has such a like blank face and she's got such a kind of closed off posture. I kind of wanted to exaggerate that, and then even more so I could tell in the old one where I was just trying to give her hair like a slight curl to it, but I just kind of read it more as a disheveled sort of vibe, so that's what I did with the modern one. It's just a really disheveled kind of like all over the place where she's the closed off posture, her eyes are super like traumatic and scary. I'm really fond of how this turned out. There's also a really on my Instagram, you can check it out, where I did the TikTok/reel. On TikTok, the audio got blocked, but it's still there on the Instagram, so it's quite cool. And then also, for all time's sakes, I brought out a blending stump, which I haven't used since maybe 2014, so that was fun, just to get more of an even tone for her hair. And yeah, overall, I feel like this was a very interesting kind of redraw from the old one that was like blank stare, very closed off posture, to slightly traumatic flight or fight kind of reaction. I don't know, I felt that was really fun. And then the last one, this was actually genuinely the first time the old drawing, I mean the Toshiro Hitsugaya from 2010 or 2009 or something like that. That was the first time I learned how to follow a reference. So there's the screenshot of Hitsugaya. I'm sure if you've seen Bleach, you've seen this exact screenshot. It's like the most popular one for him from before the time skip. So this drawing here is very monumental for me because it was the first time that I realized that you could kind of copy a reference and get something to look like the thing that you're trying to do. So I really wanted to redraw it. Of course, I don't just want to copy that same reference, because at this point copying an anime screenshot is kind of not what I'm into so much, but I did want to just draw Toshiro pre-time skip and get that sort of same vibe from him. I ended up doing his hair, the bit of the hair that goes over, in the other direction, because I think that the screenshot that I originally copied had been flipped. So I don't think that that's the way that his hair goes. So I drew it the way it's supposed to go, and then obviously I just added it. I didn't quite do the same sort of try to capture more of the essence as I did with the previous two. With this one, I was just doing more of the let's draw Toshiro looking at you from a 3/4 angle to kind of mimic it, but it's not so much of a recreation of the concept, because the concept of the previous one was just copy a screenshot. And yeah, for this one I did decide to break in some other supplies, not the blending stump. I brought ink pens, and then eventually I'm going to color it. I didn't spend too long on it. I feel like I could have definitely dedicated more time to it and like really made it super polished, but since I was doing a whole bunch of them, I had originally been inspired by drawing with waffles. I think when I filmed this, she had just made a video where she redrew every single drawing that she had drawn in an old sketchbook that she had found. So I was contemplating doing the same thing with this old sketchbook. The 3 older drawings are all from the same sketchbook, but in the end I just got a little bit tired. But the idea was that, and then perhaps I'll like do another little a part 2 to redraw more illustrations of this particular old sketchbook. But yeah, the idea had been like to keep them kind of quick and simple. By the time I got to Toshiro, I had kind of realized that I was not going to be redrawing everything in the sketchbook, and not even, I feel like drawing with waffles, I respect her a lot, because a lot of the pages in that old sketchbook are just like random eyes or random like half completed faces or things like that, and I wouldn't even know the first thing about how to approach redrawing them nowadays. But the way that she had done it in her video, which I'll link in the description, or I'll try to remember to link in the description, I thought that was just really courageous of her, because there's a lot of the like learning things that need to happen, but there aren't quite finished illustrations that would be easy to recreate, but she managed to do it anyway. And yeah, I feel like I might flip through it again in a couple months or so to see if there's any more draw this again that I want to do. I am working on finishing some sketchbooks, so this is a quick way to where you don't have to think too much. It's kind of like, you just let it inspire you, and it's a great way to fill pages when you're wanting to complete sketchbooks. As maybe not doing it the whole marker route like I did, but the benefit of doing it the marker route is that it bleeds through the other page, so you don't have to do the other page. But yeah, overall I really enjoyed this experience. Like I said, the middle illustration was my favorite one concept wise, and then obviously the Toshiro the first one means a lot to me because it was the first time I learned how to follow a reference. But yeah, let me know if you've ever redrawn your art like this and what your experience was. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all sometime.